Hello, welcome to Love Out Loud with First Baptist Church in Jacksonville. My name is Caleb, and today I want to share a reminder about being humble. I've had a couple of things fall into place about this for me. A friend of mine recently sent me a segment from a sermon. He heard about the dangers of pride and trying to take credit for things we do when we should consider all things we do only possible with God. A few days later, a verse in Ephesians jumped out at me. In Ephesians 3, Paul is crediting all of his knowledge and ability to share it with the churches to the will and the grace of God. In verses 7 and 8, he says, "Whereof I was made a minister according to the gifts of grace of God given unto me by the effectual working of his power. Unto me, who am less than the least of all the saints, is this grace given, that I should preach among the Gentiles the unsearchable riches of Christ." Paul doesn't just call himself the least, he calls himself less than the least, giving himself less than zero credit. I know and understand that Paul had his own past that he was dealing with. He knows the reality of what he came from in persecuting the earliest Christians before Jesus revealed himself to him, and that would be a hard pill to swallow. However, the work he had done at this point to spread God's word and love by the time he wrote this was incredible. That's why he was writing this letter from prison for preaching Jesus. This stuck out to me because there's a verse in Acts 19 that gives Paul credit from a strange place. During earlier times that he was spending teaching and performing miracles while at the church in Corinth and this church in Ephesus that he's writing the letter to, a story goes far and wide about some followers that tried expelling a demon. The demon retorts to them by saying, "Jesus we know and Paul we know, but who are you?" before chasing them off. Imagine how much this would have added to his stellar reputation. He'd already been preaching and performing miracles. Now this stubborn demon is crediting him on being nearly Jesus' level with the work that he's done. However, Paul never let that or anything else go to his head. We don't just have this example of calling himself less than the least, but other places where he points out that all credit goes to God for the salvation of the people he's writing to and had been teaching for years. Not him, not any of the other apostles or anyone else, just God. It was Paul in Philippians who said, "I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me." And in Romans, Paul is one of the several authors in the Bible who says that all things are through God and to him be the glory. I say all of that to say this. Anytime we do something good, help someone, donate, do something kind, it's natural to feel satisfied. But we can't let ourselves give in to the inclination and get puffed up and brag or boast about it. Give God the credit. Thank him for the opportunity and move on. Too often today we get caught up in our own accomplishments. There are too many people in the public sphere and leadership positions who have no shame, no humility, bragging about every little thing they do, or often taking credit for things other people have done that they had nothing to do with. And it either goes unquestioned or they are lifted up, glorified, or otherwise rewarded for their selfishness. We should desire and strive to do better. Back to where we started in Ephesians. Just a little bit later in chapter 4, Paul says, "I beseech you that ye are walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering." As Pastor Emily has said several times when preaching on the fruit of the Spirit, meekness is not weakness. It is strength under control. I believe this applies to humility and a humble attitude as well. Every gift we have to give, every work we are able to perform, is thanks to the abilities and blessings that God has given us. And we need to remember to give him credit. We should be humble in what we do in service to God and otherwise, and be wary of those who are exceedingly boastful and too proud of what they take credit for. I hope this has spoken to you today. If you would like to hear more on God's Word or have other questions, please reach out to us at First Baptist Church in Jacksonville. You can also visit our Facebook page where we share devotions like these along with our regular Sunday services every week. In the meantime, have peace, love on, be humble, and God bless.